Welcome, my friends, to Lean and Clean with Fitness Chef Christine. I'm Christine, your host. And today I have the speaker mastery herself, Roxana, and she's going to tell us how she came to be a master of speaking and what she does now. And so take it away. Tell us everything.
Oh my goodness. First of all, I have to just give some credit back to you, Miss Chef Chris, because you are doing some amazing things out there. I see you on the internet. You're blowing it up. You're
I measure
showing
it.
up in places. And you know what's fascinating is you are so friendly and you have this friendly is not the right word. You have
Crazy,
this
crazy.
you have an approachable personality. You're so easy to connect with and bond
Thank
with. And I think, tell me if I'm wrong, but doesn't that make it easier to work with a client when you have this approachable personality, when you have this, they feel safe, right? When they work with you.
I think they feel safe. I think sometimes for me, I probably scare them a little because I am like, yes, let's go. And some people are not that way. So like I gotta rein it in sometimes. But one of the funny things, one of the first times I met you, you had a master class and I signed up and I didn't know what to expect. And you had, I don't know if you remember, but you had me stand up and introduce myself. You said, tell me about you. And I went down my little resume list. You're like, no, who are you? I just told you. Like, no, who are you? Not what are you? Who? And that stuck with me so much. So now when I'm talking with anybody, potential clients, live on TikTok, live on YouTube, I always start with, I am a crazy grandma. And
Yes.
this is what I do. Because I learned that, what I do isn't who I am. It's who I am and what I love to do. So you taught me that blink. So what my message to everybody listening is Roxana can change you in a blink. It's like
In a blink.
it just happens so fast. And
It
I just
does.
I think working with you, even for that short amount of time, was life changing. Like I never really thought about the answer to that question before.
Yeah. It goes it goes back to an event that happened in my life. It happened to me more than once. In fact, it happened repetitively. And that was where my identity was robbed. First of all, it starts off when we come into this world, we're born. We have this, that was one identity. We were in a warm incubator. Why did you bring me into this cold, noisy world? So then there's one identity. And then for me personally, I don't know if you remember me sharing my story or not, but for those of you listening, I actually immigrated to the United States. So that was another identity that completely shifted and changed for me because I'm in a totally other world, right? Different culture, different food, different
Right.
language. And so then my identity was robbed then as well. And I say robbed to be funny. It really wasn't stolen. You know what I'm saying? It's just my humor.
Challenge.
It's my humor. And so then what happened is then the parents get divorced and then this and that and this and that. I'm going to fast forward to the one that really created that ability for me to see that who I was not what was on my business card. And so I'm actually a former police officer. And
Okay.
when, yes, and when I studied before I was in law enforcement, I wanted to be an FBI profiler. That's what I went to school for. I
I did
studied
that.
I studied criminal psychology, behavior, personality. I could look at somebody and tell them
I didn't
or
do
tell
it.
you. I know, right?
I didn't
Not me. It
do it.
wasn't me. I still have my handcuffs. Be careful.
Oh.
I'm going to arrest you. I also have my citation book still.
Oh.
So I always say, oh, you know what? I should bring my citation book to my next speaker event. I'm going to say,
That's
no,
right. And
I'm going to
they
give
would
you a
not let me be
ticket.
like, you get a citation. You,
Oh my God, you're giving me so many ideas. So
thank you.
what happened is that I experienced discrimination when I came to this country. I experienced discrimination in school system because I was the only non-Caucasian person, so to speak. I just experienced discrimination in law enforcement being one, petite, and two, a different culture, and three, I was female. So lots of discrimination. And when I lost that job, I also lost a relationship that I was engaged, and I also lost all of my savings because I did an investment with somebody that took advantage of me. And I've never recuperated the cost of that money. And this all happened at the same time and in the same time period. And so what happened is I lost my identity. I thought I was a cop. I thought I was a partner. I thought that I was an investor. I thought I was all these things. These things, where are those things? Those things are outside. Those things were not inside. Those are outside things. And what happened is I went to a really dark depression. And I was actually depressed when I was younger, and that stayed with me. Then we had this thing that happened
It was like
when I
pilot.
was an adult, and it just piled. It was like putting trash in a trash can, but never taking the can out to the curb to get picked up. And it just kept getting piled up and
I was gonna
stinkier.
say it gets stinkier.
You and I think a lot alike.
Ah,
So I realized then it was because I felt like I lost my identity that caused a lot of that depression. Because still underneath that, I'm still kooky and crazy and funny and weird, and I'm still all those things that I like to I hold near and dear to me. Like you say, you're a crazy grandma, you know. That's still who you are, regardless of what's on your business card. And that's what I told you. Who are you? So I ask your audience, I ask people right now, who are you? Are you bold? Are you vibrant? Are you courageous? Are you loud? Are you quiet? Are you soft? That's okay. Who are you? Are you adventurous? Are you somebody that you love data? You know, you're a geek head, right? Like you just, who are you? What do you love? What makes you, no matter what job or title or location or home or dollar you have in your bank account, who are you? And that, when you put that inside of your speaking, and again, just like for you as a chef, you're still speaking to people. You're enrolling people to eat better, to live better, to
well,
have a healthier body.
I could talk food from now till next Christmas, no problem.
Yes.
But how did you go from life transition, being depressed, to speaker on big stages? How did that happen?
Do you think it's an accident? Do
Never.
you think life is
I think there's
accidents?
no coincidences. And we talk a lot on the podcast about faith. Like all these anything horrible in my life that ever happened brought me to something wonderful. Let me give you that, for instance. So we had a child that died at birth. But without that happening, I wouldn't have known that my body was unable to carry babies without assistance. So I wouldn't have been able to have my two living children.
Wow.
So even though it was absolutely devastating at that moment, it changed my whole life for the better, my life. And I have a beautiful angel girl watching out for me all the time. You just you can't see in the moment what the big picture is. But
Yeah.
there are no coincidences. At least I don't believe there are.
Yeah. So I want to answer your question. And you said first of all, let me ask you real quick before I answer it. Is this being streamed? Which platform is this being streamed on? Facebook, on your
It's on
Facebook page?
Facebook. Uh-huh. It's on my personal
Okay.
page on Facebook.
Okay, perfect. So I want people to be able to capture it and see what we're talking about. So how did I go from losing my identity to speaking on stages? I go back to that origin story where I said when I came to United States and I immigrated here, I didn't speak English. And so that became learning English became a survival tool. Like I had to learn it in order to fit, in order to exist, because you can't go to the 7-Eleven and get anything. You can't order food and pay bills, and you can't do that without learning how to speak.
Right.
Now, I did come here at a very young age. Okay. So obviously that's why I have no accent. But the point is, I still had to learn. Okay. And I remember distinctly running out of the room, crying, tears falling down my face, just devastated because people didn't understand me because I was speaking in another language. And so, how this came to be is that I said, I need to master English. At least that's what I thought I had to master. Okay. So I didn't know. You don't know what you don't know until you know it.
That's true.
So I mastered English. But guess what? People still didn't get me. What the heck? I'm still having problems with connecting with people. Why don't people get me? Have you ever felt like someone, like you
Oh
don't, like people don't get you? Have you ever felt that way?
yeah, I sure do.
You probably feel that way sometimes. You're talking to a spouse or a friend and you're like, no, that's not what I mean.
Especially when I
I
have an
just,
opinion.
especially when you have an opinion, because or for me, where it shows up is when I ask a question. I have a question. Some two pieces aren't connecting, two thoughts aren't connecting for me. And the person that I asked doesn't answer the question. I said, no, that's not what I mean. And that's not what I mean. No, that's not what I mean. So, anyways, I digress. So I learned English, but that wasn't enough. There was something missing, and it was that connection. How do we connect with people? Because we all speak a different language, even if we're born in the same city, state, county, zip code, whatever it might be. We still all speak different because we have different DNA. And so, how do I connect with somebody? So, I went down this rabbit hole of understanding behavior, personality, the brain science, neuroscience, reticular activating system, NLP master practitioner, teacher train, like you name it. I went down the rabbit hole. I started collecting certifications. Like, what? How much more can I learn? And that's when I can talk with somebody and I can see oftentimes immediately what their childhood wound is. I can tell if they're lying. I can tell if somebody wants to be in the room or if they want to leave. The body tells a lot of different cues. And so becoming a speaker really was a result of needing to fit in, to belong somewhere. It happened by, I'm going to say happenstance, but really, I had been denying my gifts for so many years in violent relationships where I didn't use my voice. I kept it small. And I realized that was, again, the tool that was going to have me survive, right? When I came here, I needed to survive by using my voice. I learned English in domestic relationships, right? Violent relationships, whether it was family or friends or spouses, whatever it was, those relationships were also toxic and I had to use my voice to get out. So I realized, wow, people need to connect. We need to use our voice to overcome an obstacle, right? And it just started, it was like popcorn, boom, all these ideas. And I think really life, the different things I went through in life are what taught me how to be a speaker. And then I came up with the formula
Oh
to
yes.
make it
The speak
easy.
method. I got you.
The speak method.
All right. So tell us, what does that stand for? Tell me what is the speak method?
Okay, it's a 5-step system. So every letter stands for one of the pillars. We have story system, we have presence and performance, we have E is electric engagement, A is audience alignment, and K is killer close.
I know there's a little trick to this because I believe that I learned in the master class that the story isn't my story, but the story is that the story of the people listening. Am I correct? Or the story of how that would help them.
I think you're on to something. I think it's really close. And what I hear you saying is the S and the A. You're talking about the S and the A in one sentence.
Okay.
And
Give me
so
I'm a 2 for 1.
you got a twofer. A BOGO, buy one, get one.
There you go. I'm always trying to shorten the way.
You just get, just as long as you get there, that's all that matters. I always joke with people is that if you're driving on the freeway and you're going in the direction of where you think you're heading and you realize you're in the wrong direction, do
You drive
you
to the median?
do you immediately find the nearest exit and reroute yourself, or do you keep going?
No, I would drive to the median myself, but that's probably not the best answer.
If you could drive through the median.
Take a look.
So what would be your second best option?
The law-abiding version would be get off at the exit and turn around. But okay.
Okay, awesome. So I don't know what kind of medians you can drive through, but I can't drive
A
through the
police
ones.
officer, we have little grassy ones. They're not like concrete ones.
Oh, okay. In that case, I might do that too. So what I always tell people is if you're heading in the wrong direction, why do we keep going that way? It's definition of insanity. Why do we keep going the wrong direction? Just exit. And then what people say is, oh, but I wasted so much time. I say you're wasting more time going in the wrong direction versus rerouting yourself.
So
You
smart
know,
too, and true.
your GPS, right? It's going to constantly reroute you. The further you go, the more it keeps rerouting you, reroute. So we get to do that in our life. And so you asked me the story.
Sorry, I keep getting you off
Um,
track.
this is fun. I like wherever we're going. It doesn't matter.
Hinder.
The story you were saying, it's actually it is your story, but there's a systematic way of telling your story so that it lands for the audience. So I think that's what you were saying.
Yeah,
I know that's what you were saying.
of course it was. Of
Of course it was.
course.
Hello.
Of course.
Listen to the replay. That's what you were saying.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
So
Oh,
the
so
story that you have, it has like pieces inside of it that are going to relate to the problem that you solve that the audience needs to hear. And that's the system. And then where you tell it and how you tell it with your body, that's the system.
all right. So now that we know that there is a system and we know how you became a master of it, how can someone sign up to work with you so that they can master that sequence?
Oh my gosh. I have a couple of options. So if you're in the local Southern California area, LA, Orange County, or San Diego, I host in-person events that are extremely transformational. And I've even had people fly in. We do VIP events, we can do one-on-one events or group events, but that's probably the most exciting way to have hands-on experience. But for those of you that travel is not an option, I do have an online option, so we can work together online. And one of my favorite things is my hot seat coaching, as you came to.
It's so fun.
Those are really cool. If you're not a program junkie and you don't want to do this long term, or maybe you're just dipping your toe, you're not sure you really want to do something, come to the hot seat coaching call, get in the hot seat. And
How often is it?
I do the hot seats weekly,
Okay.
every single week, unless there's some event and I need to take a week off, but I'll
Can you
always
can you
know.
get me the links to your Facebook group? Because I'll put
You
them in the
got
show
it.
notes, and then how they can connect with you. So if somebody wants to sign up to work with you, how do they get that? How do they do it?
Awesome. I'm going to do that. So it's really easy to connect with me. You can certainly message me on Facebook. I'm all over social media and Facebook specifically. I do Instagram, but
Okay.
go Facebook, go
Yeah,
Facebook.
Facebook,
It's a
Facebook,
lot easier.
please. Got it. I got it.
I
All
do
right.
have a booking link if somebody wants to book a call with me.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you had a book. I was like, oh, I didn't know. But booking
I
link.
do. I
You
do.
do?
I do.
What's the name of the book?
Speaker mastery, of course.
I did. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, and where can they get the book?
It's in editing phase right now. It's being edited. I can do pre-sale right now if you
Amazing.
like, but it's coming soon to a theater near you.
I like it. I like it. I'll be first one to buy it.
Yay!
Yeah, awesome.
We'll have a party, we'll have a launch you and me.
Oh my gosh,
Uh,
it's so fun.
I'd love to co-host with you.
Yeah, girl, I'm all about that. I love it. All right, I'm copying the link. And then it just took me away from the page. It's good. It's all good.
That's a booking link. Here's my website. And
Perfect.
now let me get you my Facebook so you can have everything.
Not at all.
Get it all, girl. I
Mhm.
had so much fun with you tonight.
I'm very chill. I tell people all the time. They just don't believe me. Because I'm normally such a spaz.
I doubt that.
We'll go
You
with that.
don't seem like a
We'll-
spaz to me.
I'm very high energy. Put
I
it
think
that
you're
way.
fun.
Thank you. Okay, I got all those links, so I will share those out. And I just want to say that if you're fortunate enough to work with Roxana, you will find that things move very rapidly. So it's not like you take a course for 6 weeks and then you see the
Oh,
change or that you bog down with stuff. The changes are like ding ding. So it happens really fast. So don't wait on this opportunity. Get your butt in gear, take the opportunity. And I always say, if you want to move fast and learn fast,
mm,
spend the money to do that rather than wasting all the time trying to get there yourself. Because you can watch 1,000 videos and move like an inch. You can spend an
mhm.
hour with you and move like a mile. So
Exactly. That's one of my favorite things, Chef Chris, is because I don't like to waste time. I spent all the years and all the money figuring it out. So use my experience. And like you said, you experienced it yourself.
good.
I make rapid transformation. That's my signature. I do pattern interrupts and we just jump through it. We break through it and we get it taken care of. If somebody is not a fast moving person, I will meet them where they are. Although it's it's more effective if I can just
I'm
move
going
the
to
noise
challenge you
aside.
on that because I was not prepared. But the fact that you called me out and we just fixed it immediately, where I may have tried to tweak it myself a little bit here and there, that really changed things really rapidly.
I
So
love it.
you may meet them where they are, but I think you push a little bit so they get there faster.
I call it shove and love.
There you go. I
A
like
little shove, a little love.
I like it. That's perfect. I love it. Okay, so now I have all the links to give everybody. And maybe what we can do is when the book comes out, you can come back and we can tell everybody what's in the book and how to use the book. And I love all the things you're doing. And I thank you so much for taking the time tonight to be with us.
Yeah.
I want you to know that I am 1 hour past my bedtime. I might turn into a pumpkin because like I get up early to teach fitness. So I loved having you so much. And I was so determined to have you that I told you to pick any time. I stuck to it. I still have an hour drive home.
Oh, you're not even at home.
No, I'm babysitting for my granddaughter. So my daughter got home. So when we're done, I'm gonna go try.
Ah, thank you so much for being here. I
Oh,
really
no,
appreciate it. I had
no,
several
no.
clients earlier, so that's why I had to be this hour.
This is perfect. It's all good. I would have been here if you told me 2 o'clock in the morning because I really wanted to have you on. And I love what you're doing. And I think that you can help so many people with so many different businesses and so many even personal goals. I think the work you do is fantastic.
I appreciate you. I had a best time. This is a great interview. You're an incredible host, and I'm so grateful for you guys. If you want to know more about Chris, I think you need to watch all of her episodes
Yeah,
because
of course.
you've got some amazing talent on your show.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And thanks again for being with me. I can't wait to read your book and so, hot seats.
All right. Have a good night, everyone.
Much love.
Bye.
Bye.